Here's the truth you don't want to hear. Your life right now isn't the result of one big choice. It's the result of 1,000 invisible decisions you didn't even notice making. And that's the scariest part. It wasn't the job you took or the relationship you ended that shaped you the most. It was the mornings you hit snooze, the days you said, "I'll start tomorrow." The moments you chose comfort over growth. Every one of those tiny decisions was a domino. And while you were busy ignoring them, they were quietly building the chain reaction that created the life you're living right now. The question is, if those invisible dominoes have already created this version of you, what are the next ones about to create? Think about your day. You wake up, you grab your phone. You scroll for 20 minutes, no big deal, right? But here's the reality, that's a domino. That's 20 minutes stolen from the version of you that could have built something today. You skip the gym because you're tired, another domino. You spend money you don't have to feel better for 5 minutes, another domino. You tell yourself you'll work on your goals next week, another domino. And none of them feel dangerous in the moment. That's the trick. Dominoes are small, they fall silently, and you don't see the damage until the chain is already in motion. Let me show you how this really works. Imagine one single domino, so small it barely matters. You miss one day at the gym, but that domino doesn't fall alone. It knocks into the next one, you miss another day. That knocks into the next one, you lose momentum. Then into the next one, you stop completely. Weeks later, you look in the mirror and wonder what happened. But it wasn't a sudden failure, it was the domino effect. Now flip it. Imagine you write one page today, that knocks into the next domino. You write tomorrow. That domino hits the next one, you finish a chapter. And before you know it, the chain leads to a finished book. One invisible decision starts the whole reaction. And here's the part you can't ignore. Dominoes don't stop falling just because you stop paying attention. They keep going until they build your future or destroy it. And here's the cost almost no one talks about. When you ignore these invisible decisions, you're not staying in the same place. You're moving backwards. Every snooze button steals energy from your future self. Every wasted hour compounds into wasted years. Every invisible decision you don't fight for becomes the invisible chain that locks you in. That's why most people wake up at 40 or 50 and feel stuck. It didn't happen overnight. It was years of silent dominoes falling, one after the other, while they convinced themselves they had plenty of time. But here's the brutal truth, time isn't on your side. The dominoes are already falling. And the longer you wait, the harder they are to stop. But here's the hope, if invisible decisions created the life you don't want, they can also create the life you dream about. Every time you choose growth over comfort, that's a domino. Every time you say no to distraction, that's a domino. Every time you start instead of waiting for the perfect time, that's a domino. And if you stack them in the right direction, that same chain reaction that once destroyed you becomes the force that transforms you. So here's the challenge. The next time you're about to make a choice that feels small, that feels invisible, stop and ask yourself, if this domino falls, where does it lead me? Because one day, you'll look back, and you'll either thank yourself for the chain reaction you created, or you'll realize the person you could have become was lost to 1,000 invisible decisions you never thought mattered.